Welcome to the Rotoscopers YouTube. Today we are going to be talking about the Black Panther. Guys, this is a really big deal. On so many different levels, people are really excited about this movie, and for good cause. This is a spoiler-free review. I have gone ahead and written down some notes because I want to make sure that I am true to how I feel. We're going to go through, and first off, I loved the music. The music was so great. I felt like it was a great blend of the theatrical stylings that you would come to expect with any movie that you go to, with the whole orchestra and everything. Like, it's just, I love that. I love that. But then they also added these awesome elements of urban influences as well as this tribal influences, cultural influences that just made it so delicious. So if you have Spotify and you want to go listen to that soundtrack, I would recommend it just because it's got some cool things going. Also, I love the technology in this movie. Honestly, the great thing about this story is it's going into it with everybody knows that this culture is outside of what is real. Therefore, we can make up whatever rules that we want for this culture. I mean, it might as well be a whole nother alien planet because they have all of these things that nobody else has. They have technology that can outdo anybody. And it's like the dark horse come from the behind and just be like, bam, got it. And it's just this is really cool. So I like that aspect. And they did a fantastic job of showing off the little gadgets and gizmos aplenty. If they wanted to say that they had hover bikes, they can say they have hover bikes. If they want to say that their animals are super trained to be able to come when they call, my dog still doesn't do that. So that's a cool thing for me. But that they can do that. So it's just really, I mean, to some extent, they can do whatever they want. And they kind of do. They got a lot of stuff under the hood. And it really has a James Bond feel and vibe and flair that they throw into this, which is something that the MCU really needs. And I think that is one of the greatest additions that they have added. All in all, I feel like this movie was a very necessary piece to the puzzle. And as a whole, going up to Infinity War, great prep. I also feel like you're going to enjoy it. I went in thinking I was going to enjoy it and be really excited and left having enjoyed the whole thing because really there's no crazy lows or anything where the moments where you're just checking your watch, are we there yet? Come on. So there's really none of that. And it's a 2.5 hour long movie. So it keeps the thought process and it keeps you engaged to the whole thing. So good on you, man. That's awesome. Now, there were a couple plot points that I did see coming, but maybe that's just because I have my, movie person. I see a lot of movies waiting for you to set me up for certain things hat on. So, politics, it's very interesting. They did a lot of kind of blending and kind of discussion building topics where they talk about globalism versus nationalism. And they don't use those words, but that's really what they're talking about. Do we go out and join the world or do we stay to ourselves? So those are questions that are up for debate throughout this movie. And it's a conversation, and I like movies that spur on conversations. Now, the women in Wakanda are really awesome, and I love the fact that they are really powerful and great, and I love even more the fact that they don't talk about it. And it's just a known quantity. So it's great. I like that. I feel like in a lot of media today, there's a lot of talk, not a lot of action. So that was cool. Chadwick Boseman, I've seen a couple of his movies. I loved him in the movie 42. Such a great movie. And when he was in Civil War, he did a great job too, I felt like. He plays the good, strong, silent type, which is great because that's a great person to be. But it's also, it has a very tough role to play because he is strong. He's silent and it's kind of like a mask. And so it's a hard time for people to get to know him. But I feel like he played that role well, and he has continued to play that role well. So let you know a little bit more on his insides. Eric Killmonger. So Michael B. Jordan, I love him as an actor. I felt like he is charismatic. He's great on the eyes. But that's about where my liking for this character like kind of stopped. I felt like that character was the one that had the most problems. All in all, I feel like it was necessary, and all things considered, a great and enjoyable addition to the MCU. I give it 3.5 stars out of 5. And I like what it's going to come out of this, out of bringing this into the MCU. And I think it's really cool to have that Wakandan culture and tech thrown in there. Throwing on my critical hat, though, you know, I felt like at the end, I felt a little weighed down in politics and some muddled motivations. So that is my review. I feel like you're going to go in and you're going to enjoy it, and it's something that you should see, but that's just how it came out. Now, that being said, I know a lot of people who totally said the opposite of what I said. So, you know, take my review with a grain of salt. That's just how I came out. All right, I am going to be doing a spoiler review. This one I tried to be really spoiler free. So in my next video, make sure to check that out. It's going to be a fun time. All right, until next time, my name is Robson, and you are watching. Hey, and if you happen to be a fan of art books, I know we used to do a lot of these, and this one I bought this one because I was like, I just really like it, and I think you're gonna like it too. So stay tuned.